I have technical difficulties where I'm here to help you guys with points and how you can stay in awesome places. This redemption was a super simple one. I stayed here with my family. We had a really good time. The basic bottom line was that we decided we were going to go on a trip literally that morning. And I love how you can do that with points and miles because you have the ability to um, stay at a place that you had no intention of going to. It was literally my wife's birthday. We woke up in the morning and we're like, what do you want to do today? Because we originally didn't plan on going anywhere. And we decided, you know what? Let's look for a trip. And we within like I don't know half hour talking said, there's that restaurant in Savannah that you love. Let's go to Savannah. So literally that morning, I booked all the flights, and then we were flying out. I think by I think like 3 hours later, we had a flight. So we had to like quickly pack our bags. We have a toddler too, so it was really just one of those fun trips that was spur of the moment, spontaneous, and we booked it. So I'll share with you my screen here in a second here um, of exactly what the numbers were, and then we'll go into what the actual stay was. So I'm going to share my screen here, and again, I'm doing all of these like I would share to a friend. So forgive me for not being super well edited. I don't really have the time to sit down and edit a bunch of videos for you guys. I wish I did, but instead I'm just going to do it in this kind of a format. I hope it's not too bad of a problem. So this is the calculator, just showing you a breakdown of what the actual room was for one night. So it was not cheap. And by the way, I stayed here prior to one of my favorite YouTubers who also mentioned after that. This was in mid March, and after that, I saw that Anthony Venture, one of my favorite YouTubers, mentioned that he stayed at the same hotel. So it's funny, but yeah, I still wanted to show you guys a breakdown of what I did. Hope it's not too redundant for you guys if you guys watched Anthony's video. So you can see here it was $517.80 for one night. That's what it would have cost in cash. We used Hyatt points. It was 13,500 points. So that gave us a 3.8 cent redemption, 3.8 cents per point. Pretty good. And then as far as the flight goes, we were able to fly there on, per person. What you do is you take the cost of the actual trip in cash, subtract the actual taxes that you would have to pay. You had to pay that in cash anyway, and then divide that by the total. So 18,000 was the total for one person round trip to fly. I think we flew business class, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because it was 9,000 points each way. So using Alaska Atmos points, it was a 5.45 or six, if you want to round up, cent redemption for the actual Atmos points, which is obviously fantastic. So just to show you the value of Atmos, we flew from Miami to directly to Savannah. That was the only airline near, or the only way to fly to Savannah from near where we were. Super easy flight, wasn't bad at all. So let me show you the actual. Well, the first thing we got was the car. And let's talk a little bit about rental cars because it's something that I think a lot of people don't realize. We got this really nice car, and again, we have a baby, so not exactly ideal to put a baby in a car seat in the back of this, but we did. And what we use for car rentals is National. National allows you to choose if you have status, which we do as a complimentary of status match with Hilton. We have Hilton Diamond, and if you're not aware, if you have the Aspire card, you get Hilton Diamond status. That status matches with National, so you can get Executive Elite. With Executive Elite, all you have to do is book a mid-size sedan, and then you can get any car on the lot. And so one of the nicest cars that we saw there was this Audi, and we said, you know what, we'll take the Audi today. So we paid for a mid-sized car for one night using our Capital One Venture X. That allowed us to get the free. It wasn't any cost for primary rental and for insurance, and we were able to erase those points. At that time, we didn't do that, but you can erase those points if you those redemptions that are travel with the venture miles if you'd like. So you're getting 10x, and then you can erase it. So you're effectively erasing at 1.11 cents per point if you do the math. So that's the car we were able to get. And then let's show you the actual room. Um, we we enjoyed the room. It was okay, but as you see in a lot of our other redemption videos, um, we've stayed in nicer places, but it's still, for what it was not bad. Again, forgive the mess. I started getting better at this when time's gone on, and I'm still not great, to be honest with you. But you can see that you have all those different snacks and stuff like that. Obviously, we didn't need any of those. You got this. They did upgrade us to a suite, and I don't remember. I don't remember if what the situation was with the suite. I want to say that they charged us like $25, which I was usually opposed to doing, but with having a baby, wanted to make sure we had it. It was my wife's birthday. I think the total is $25 for the upgrade. So it was the points plus $25 in this particular case. And then you have, the actual bedroom in here. Nothing bad, just, you saw that our other redemptions, it was like we went from Cabo 2 weeks prior to this trip. And then we went on this trip for, it was literally a one night stay. We literally flew up on a Saturday morning. I had a busy work week. So we just decided to fly Saturday morning. This is being filmed on Saturday, I think evening, after we decided to check in. And you see the room, it's really nice, but we flew out the next day on Sunday. And yeah, just a overall nice room. Shower, should have turned the lights on, getting better at that. But that's basically the whole room as the suite, pretty cool. As far as the actual hotel, so let me take you on a tour through the hotel. What I will say was the food was awesome. It was really, really good. We definitely recommend coming here just for the restaurant on the property. It was really good. So this is the lobby when you first walk in. They have a little kind of hangout area. You can see the vibe is kind of cool. It's relaxed. They have a bar, and just the overall energy of the place was really cool. Um, just kind of go film this a little bit faster. So you can see they have a little grand piano. And then over here is where the actual restaurant is. So they had all different kinds of foods, which I'll show you in a second. But there you go. Just to show you what the actual restaurant was like. They had this little back private room there. Yeah. And just overall, pretty cool. So I'm going to show you some food options here, because my wife's a foodie, and this was all really good stuff. I don't remember what any of this stuff was called. This was almost a year ago now. I just at the time I was filming all this just to show you for the future, but I didn't know enough about all this. So anyways, that was some type of a dip of some kind, like a fish dip, really good. That was crab cakes. That my wife is a huge crab cake nut. She raves about these crab cakes. She's like always talking about how she wants to go back to Savannah for those crab cakes. Um, I don't remember what that was. I think it was chicken and some like rice and beans. That was good. Um, that's a better shot, I guess. That's what my wife ordered. I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, potatoes. I don't remember. No, is that? I don't know. I have no idea. That's what my wife ordered, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so that's the food. And let's see if I can show you. Let's see another. And then this is the place we actually wanted to go to. Is if you've never been to Savannah, you should check out on the river. It's called Huey's on the River. It was like a 5 minute walk or 10 minute walk, I think, whatever it was from there. Huey's is bomb, and I'll show you what they have. So this is my wife ordered this. I forget what this was. This was like a I forget. Put it in the comments if you know what this is called. It was uh, grits, like fish and grits or something like that. I forget. Shrimp and grits. Sorry, but something that they added to it that was really good. But my wife was like, "This is incredible." This is why we came back to Savannah for a 1 day trip, was just so she could order that because she really loved it. And ready for this? Boom! They have the best beignets. We've been to New Orleans. I've had the beignets at the famous places in New Orleans. Huey's has better beignets than that. I literally wrote a Yelp review of Huey's while I was in New Orleans trying the ones you have to wait like 2 hours online to have. They are nowhere near as good as the beignets you can get over at Huey's. So definitely recommend those. And that was basically our trip. We flew back the next day. So not a lot to write home about there, but really, really good time. And just to show you what points are, how cool points are, is that like, oh, you're doing this 1 day ahead, no big deal. Now, the one thing that we didn't realize was that when we went, it was St. Patrick's Day, so not a good move. So the one thing I will say is that you ever hear all the complaints about how horrible um, how horrible it is in Miami at the airport? I will. Well, I don't want to show all these poor people that I'm gonna show them on the internet. I don't want to do that, but it was really, this one's not so bad. It's kind of, you can't really tell, but just to show you real quick, look how bad that was. It was horrible. We didn't have to wait on that line, thank God. But that's what, when we arrived back to Miami, that's what it looked like. So it was horrible delays. Anyways, really appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you have questions on how you can stay at places like that for literally $25, drop a comment, and you can look in the description and book a one-on-one with me. I'll be more than happy to tell you all about your existing situation, what cards you need, what your strategy should be based on the redemptions that you want to go on, and all the different things that are advanced strategies that don't belong on YouTube publicly. Really appreciate you guys watching, and thank you for your time. Have a great rest of your day.